Welcome into this carrier update. I'm Tony Mulvey, joined by Donny, Gilbert, and Donny. It's Monday. It means we're going to take a look at what happened in the reefer market over the past week. And
gloom.
Yeah, I mean, just not, it's kind of, I would describe it as steady.
I would almost use the word stagnant.
Yeah.
But, so this is what, it's actually pretty close to seasonality.
Mm-hmm.
So we're not like anything in terrible shape, but we're not in great shape. Volumes drop back down after the Thanksgiving holiday, expected.
Yeah.
Now, typically, the reefer would kind of come back up, I mean, just a little bit, and kind of arc.
Yeah, it's the last 2 weeks of the year, really, in the month, that you see the declines. You see the reefer market benefits from colder weather, right?
Yeah.
It's a boost to the market.
Rejection rates have dropped to 7.44%. That's terrible for this time of year.
Yeah.
So overall, if we go through and look at some of this seasonality, let's go to the next chart and look at some of these volumes. So we are right here.
Mm-hmm.
So now we are in the last, viewing the previous 4 years, we are at the lowest point we've ever been in December.
Yeah.
Over the last 5 years.
Yeah, and last year was the lowest, right? Before. And now we're lower than that, which...
Yeah, and we should have picked back up. This is what I'm talking about, this little bump right here.
Mm-hmm.
We should have picked back up and bumped up just a little bit, and then around the 18th, 19th, start dropping back down because everything should be where it needs to be. We did not bounce back up. We've been kind of, as you said, truly the answer is holding
steady, right? I mean, it hasn't moved in a week, really. I mean, maybe less than 1% here or there, but I mean, that's not a move in any direction, really.
Yeah, but we still need to keep upward pressure on rates because even though this is contract market, spot market, you can still get those rates to start pushing up. There will be some loads that hit the spot market. There'll be
well, I think
there'll be shippers that are looking for that discount. Now, they may not get them, you may be able to push those rates up, but are you actually going to break what the contracted rate may be? Maybe not, probably not, but you might be able to get 50, 60 cents more than what you're getting right now.
Yeah.
And this is very important for some of these really small carriers, owner-operators, who can't get, quote, contracted freight like these big carriers can. They may rely solely on the spot market, so that 50, 60, 70 cents a mile
it's a big difference.
Would mean a lot to them.
Yeah, I think this chart really signals kind of where we are, just because why to put upward pressure on spot rates? Look at how increasingly sensitive it is to the holiday, right? Look at the Thanksgiving Day increase.
Let's go 2 forward. Go one more. Here we go. So typically, this is right before Christmas. This is seasonality for ROTRI. You see these bounces up.
Yeah.
And even, was it 22 last year?
That was last year.
So even we see a little bump up even last year. I'm not sure we're going to see that much of a bump this year with this year's.
Well, we didn't eclipse 10% last year. Well, we barely were higher than where we were this year. The difference is we already eclipsed it with the Thanksgiving holiday. I think that's the interesting part, is if you look at Thanksgiving last year in comparison to this year, the increase was bigger this year. Kind of this increased sensitivity to the holiday. I don't want to say similar to what we saw in 2018, but more similar to that than maybe what we saw last year, which is a positive if you're a reefer carrier, because it's like you said, this is when you put the upward pressure on rates, and the more sensitive it is, the more likely you are to get those.
Well, maybe we'll see a break in 10% if everybody can get together and start pushing up.
Yeah, because I mean they did in November, so right now is like the time, kind of that in between, right? That hey, if we have contracts, let's take them because it's our moneymaker. We know the spot market may present some opportunities, pick up some last minute freight, things like that, where that time sensitive. Say by the end of the week, because you're really getting into Christmas holidays next week, because that Friday is when a lot of places start to close. You start putting it this week, it can help carry that momentum in for the next 2 weeks.
Yep, so definitely carriers keep upward pressure.
Absolutely. Well, Donny, thank you so much for this update. We'll be sure to check in with you again a little later. Right now, we'll hand it back over to Kaylee Nix.